Hey guys, it's me, Tiana Jones, also known as Callie Faye, and we're back with the Global Peace Sustainable Development Goals, Day 7. And this is ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, modern energy for all. I'm so excited for everyone to be here. We have a unique crowd of people from all nations uniting and giving people hope to find a solution and give innovations and development. Our first guest speaker is Professor Dr. Kirit Kumar Bhatt. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Tiana ma'am, for giving me opportunity to speak as a very first speaker. As it is a very fantastic topic, and I am belong to electrical and electronics engineering. So obviously, it is my cup of tea mostly. But here, I don't know the people from technology or not. But generally, we will discuss. I will throw some light on that. What exactly the renewable energy and what is use of it, and how. What are the different sources? What are the different ways to have to utilize these things? Uh, Clean, green, and the harmless energy is now need of the time, and it is everyone's responsibility. I believe so. Especially if India has taken a great initiative in this matter. We will discuss on a later part. But at, as and when we talk about the green energy, first things comes to our mind is solar energy and the wind energy, through which lighting, transportation, heating, and all those applications can taken care of it. By using fossil fuels till the time since last over generation to generation, we have produced the energy by using fossil fuels, maybe petroleum products, kerosene, and uh, coal, whatever. But it has affected environment very dangerously, and now we are experiencing the global warming because of this thing. Modern technologies or new technologies uh, comes into on the way when we talk about the green energy. Uh, the other other part of effect is that the petroleum products or fossil fuels are available to a specific region of the on the earth. It is not equally available to all the countries. That is why country national security also matters. But the wind, sunlight, and water mostly available to all the countries, and using that, one can solve the issue of the issue of this. I think volume is. Is it okay? Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Thank you.
So instead of using dirty energy, we should go for the green energy, and that serves the purpose. Because of till the time we have exploited the other energy sources, we are experiencing the flood, earthquake, and finally we come to global warming. Now, what are the other ways, other kind of resources through which we can have the clean and green energy? That is solar energy. One report I was reading before couple of weeks. Sun can radiate an energy within 1 hour, which is equal to whole world can use the energy for 1 year. But it's said by the report, and it is mentioned in the United States, United Nations report. This much energy is radiating by the sun. If we are utilizing it properly, uh, I think the issue of the energy will be almost resolved. Wind energy across the sea source and the mountain, obviously we can plant the windmills, and nowadays with new technologies, the uh, blades of the windmills are given as input to the turbines, turbine blades, and we can produce the electricity through their wind energy. When I mean to say energy, that doesn't mean only electricity. Electricity, heat, or maybe mechanical movements is also in the form of energy. Another is the hydroelectric energy or hydropower, hydro-based energy generation. In most region, there is a flowing water, maybe through the river, maybe through the waterfalls and whatnot. So from higher point to lower point, water flows with the very high force. If we utilize that, flowing of water is also a form of energy. If we convert that energy into the electrical energy or heat energy, we can have the electricity. Another form is a biomass and biogas. Biomass is nothing but the across the world in many countries, millions and millions people are eating the non-veg food. So there must be some wastage of the because of non-veg food, wastage of the animals, wastage of the crops, wastage of trees and whatever that can be utilized to produce the electricity, and that way one can generate the energy by using the biomass or biogas sort of thing. Another form is a geothermal methodology to produce electricity. Geothermal is nothing but when we talk about core of the earth, where there is a huge amount of heat present. If we drill it up to that, and if we get the minerals or hot water, and that water may be pumped to the and if we get it to the machinery level, we can produce another sort of electricity. The main benefit of having a green energy is it is available to everywhere. It is so cheaper. It's a cheaper solution to get the energy. It produces the employment also. So many other goals can be taken care of. Goals of SDGs can be taken care. It produces the healthy environment, and it solves the purpose of the in generation of the good amount of employment. Now, what are how to achieve? See, we are discussing what is green energy, what are the sources of green energy, but I will focus on how to get it and what are the challenges in getting it. First of all, we need a good electrical infrastructure. We must have to install the smart grids. We must reduce the line losses, and it is required a protection of energy or security of energy, we can say, and we need to improve overall infrastructure of electricity. Other challenge is policy making, the investment level at the government end, and restructuring of a complete power sector is involved in that. I quote one example of India. In my state, government policy is so supportive. If we want to install a small domestic solar power plant for my personal home, government is releasing subsidy up to 20% to 60%. Believe me, in almost all the houses of the state of the Gujarat, they have installed the solar power plant, and people are getting energy through solar power plant. They are enjoying all the facilities within the house. In fact, sometimes we are earning additional money from that power plant also, because generation is continuous and units are getting generated. Sometimes we may not consume that much power, and balance unit are credited equivalent as per the tariff of the government. The equivalent amount is credited to our account. So this is the beauty of the state of the Gujarat, and probably I don't know when it will be implemented, but once I was in the discussion of the policy framing at a central government level, uh, probably Indian government is going to take a step that they are installing free power plants to every house owners. Only thing is that the balance units uh, will be utilized by the government itself. They will not give you the compensation against that, and probably Indian need of the domestic electricity will be compensated through that, so government can sell electricity to other countries also. This is what my thoughts on this. So green energy is really a next future now, and I recommend everyone to spread this message. Solar power plant is the best solution that at a domestic level. Suppose every house on this globe is functioning with the solar power plant, how much energy will be saved? So our country can utilize the balance energy for some other purpose also. This is what is my recommendation to everyone. Thank you. Thank you, one. Thank you, one and all present here. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you again. Thank you
Thank you.
again. And so we will talk more after and decide how to put together another action plan. Thank you again for joining. I really respect you and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Our next guest speaker is Professor Dr. Soraya Bano.
Thank you, Tiana ma'am. This is Professor Dr. Surya Bano from Belainagar, Chhattisgarh, India. Today the topic is HTG 7 affordable and clean energy. As Antonio Guterres, Secretary General United Nations said, now it's time to stop burning our planet and start investing in abundant renewable energy all around us. Fossil fuels are the causes of the climate crisis. Renewable energy is the answer to limiting climate disruptions and boosting energy security. The United Nations chief outlined 4 priorities for a sustainable energy future, cutting in half the number of people without access to electricity by 2025, rapidly shifting to clean energy sources, achieve universal energy access by 2030, and ensure that no one is left behind in the race to a net zero future. The main targets of SDG 7 on energy are its 3 core targets are the foundation for our work: ensure universal access to affordable, reliable, and modern energy services, increase sustainability substantially the share of renewable energy is the global energy mix, double the global rate of improvement in energy efficiency. Affordable and clean energy is important for sustainable development because focusing on universal access to energy, increased energy efficiency, and the increased use of renewable energy through new economic and job opportunities is crucial to creating more sustainable and inclusive communities and resilience to environmental issues like climate change. We can promote affordable and clean energy by use solar energy sources, install solar panels in our home for our heating and electricity, use solar technology, radio charger, lights, etc. As Tom Allen said, energy conservation is the foundation of energy independence. Then we have to know how can SDG 7 be achieved. The goal has 5 targets to be achieved by 2030. Progress towards the target is measured by 6 indicators. 3 out of the 5 targets are outcome targets: universal access to modern energy, increase global percentage of renewable energy, double the improvement in energy efficiency. And the question arises, how does renewable energy affect sustainability? Electricity from renewable energy sources produces between 90 to 99% less greenhouse gases compared with coal-fired plants and causes 70 to 90% less pollution. Focusing on renewable energy sources other than fossil fuels and coal might help in avoiding environmental impacts, specifically from air pollution and greenhouse gases. The main advantages of renewable energy sources are inexhaustibility and an impact on the environment. The main disadvantages of renewable energy sources are low energy density and the technology in development. Now I want to focus some points. Benefits of renewable energy uses: less global warming, improved public health, inexhaustible energy, jobs and others economic benefits, stable energy prices, reliability and resilience, clean, safe and efficient, numerous methods for creating renewable power, gives our country energy independence, provide job for our local community, stable costs, save and make money. As David Suzuki said, some solutions are relatively simple and would provide economic benefits. Implementing measures to conserve energy, putting a price on carbon through taxes and cap and trade, and shifting from fossil fuel to clean and renewable energy sources. Then, why renewable energy is called clean energy? Renewable energy is made from resources that nature will replace, like wind, water, and sunshine. Renewable energy is also called clean energy or green power because it doesn't pollute the air or the water. The most popular renewable energy sources we have to know currently are solar energy, wind energy, hydro energy, tidal energy, geothermal energy, and biomass energy. As John Grummond said, clean energy is good for the environment, good for nation security, and good for thousands of Americans who desire a rewarding career. Clean energy is energy that is produced through methods that do not release greenhouse gases or any other pollutants. Clean energy can be generated from renewable sources like solar and air currents. It is important to note that the term renewable energy and clean energy are not interchangeable. Power generation from many types of renewables are 100% efficient in international energy statistics, while fossil power plants achieve only 25 to 85% efficiency. Wind comes out on top by a wind margin over all other sources. It is followed in order by geothermal, hydro, nuclear, and solar. Fortunately, clean energy is ever more affordable. In fact, it's not cheaper to build a new solar or wind project than to continue operating most of existing coal-fired power plants in the United States. Driving an electric car, meanwhile, costs less than half as much per mile as driving a gasoline-powered car. As Bill Gates said, almost every way we make electricity today, except from emerging renewables and nuclear, puts out carbon dioxide, and so what we are going to have to do at a global scale is create a new system, and so we need energy miracles. At last, I conclude, clean energy provides a variety of environmental and economic benefits, including a reduction in air pollution. A diverse clean energy supply also reduces the dependence on imported fuels. Benefits of renewable energy are generating energy that produce no greenhouse gas emission from fossil fuels and reduces some types of air pollution. Diversifying energy supply and reducing dependence on imported fuels, creating economic development and job in manufacturing, installation, and more. One of the most obvious ways that renewable energy can save business money is by reducing their energy bills. Companies can install solar panels, wind turbines, and other form of renewable energy on their properties and use them to power their operation. At last, I want to share nice words said by Kofi Annan, former Secretary General, United Nations. He said, if we can come up with innovations and train young people to take on new jobs, and if we can switch to clean energy, I think we have the capacity to build this world not dependent on fossil fuel. I think it will happen and it won't destroy economy. Thank you. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Tiana ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And you always bring so much passion and so much innovation, and you speak about great topics and you give us facts. And that's what we want here. We want people to say their opinion, but we want people to have facts here on more data. We want to collect data here and analysis in your countries to figure out how we can bring solutions to these issues and to the things that we need. Thank you so much. And of course, you ended it with a quote. You've been here every day showing us great leaders and great quotes. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
So our next guest international speaker is Professor Dr. Richa Ranjan. Welcome. Let me see. We sometimes have bad connection. So if she disappeared, that's going to happen sometimes with Zoom. She may pop back up. That actually, there she is. That happened yesterday. And we'll wait for her. Professor, it's okay if we can't hear you. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to the next guest speaker. And it's going to be Laura Stansu from Romania.
Greetings, everyone. Thank you, Tiana, for giving me this opportunity. And I believe that it is very, very important to learn about sustainable development goals and to do our best to make this world a better place by accomplishing these goals. May I share my screen?
Yes, you may. And thank you for joining us. You're a great friend of mine, and I appreciate you making the time to do this.
It is for humanity, for everyone who cares about our precious earth. So that is why we should all join hands to achieve the SDGs. Okay. Just a second. First of all, I want to begin by saying that it is very, very important to have clean and sustainable energy, because this is the key to a green future. This is how we can save our planet, by protecting our world through these means, through using clean, sustainable energy. There is a small problem with my PowerPoint presentation. Okay. So, I am Laura Stanciu from Școala Superioară Comercială Nicolae Crețulescu from Romania. I am a teacher, and I would like to thank you once more for allowing me to present my views on the importance of Sustainable Development Goal 7. It is one of the 17 SDGs established by the United Nations General Assembly in 2015. And SDG 7 means to ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. Access to energy, and especially to clean energy, is a very important step forward for the well-being of the people and for the economy of every country. There are many targets related to these SDGs, and what we need to remember is that in order to have access to all the technology, all the things that modern living has for us today, we need energy. Energy is what makes the world go round. So universal access to modern energy and increasing the global percentage of renewable energy is very important, a very important task to achieve nowadays. We need to improve energy efficiency and ensure that everyone has access to a reliable and affordable source of energy by investing in local infrastructure to establish accessible energy services. Oh, sorry. We need to choose sources of energy which are efficient but also friendly with the environment, because we need to take care of what we do. Every action that we take may hurt or may protect the planet that we live on. So people need to be helped to understand the importance of using clean energy and to have the necessary means to use it. If people are trying to save energy, why not you? Energy is, as I said, what makes the world go round. So we need to use it in an efficient way so that we don't spend every means that we now have available. And there are renewable sources who will always be there for us, such as solar energy. And using this kind of renewable energy is the key, is the solution to having a greener life. We should invest in energy efficiency and invest in clean energy infrastructure. There are many people, a high number of people globally, who live without access to electricity, without access to clean cooking solutions. Energy is needed for all the activities that we do, including jobs, transport, food security, health, and education. People in remote areas or people who don't have the necessary financial means sometimes live without these benefits, and they are struggling. By using more, by using those sources which are renewable and using less polluting biofuels, we are helping the planet and we are helping the people. And renewable energy sources are becoming cheaper and cheaper, more reliable and more efficient every day. We need to teach people about what it means to rely on these sources. Solar power, wind power, wave power. These are things that nature has offered us, and we can always rely on them instead of biofuels. Our current reliance of fossil fuels is unsustainable and harmful to the planet, which is why we have to change the way we produce and consume energy. Implementing these new energy solutions as fast as possible is essential to counter climate change, one of the biggest threats to our own survival. In our country, we are trying to find solutions for a more sustainable and environmentally friendly lifestyle. So in Romania, in the past few years, we have started to install more and more solar panels in order to have access to this renewable source, which is also a lot cheaper than what we are using now. Clean energy is the future. And as I said before, in Romania, solar panels and solar energy is considered to be one of the best solutions to tackle climate change and to have a cheaper source of energy. In order to accomplish this SDG, we need also to educate people about energy saving. There are very simple solutions like switching off the appliances, turning off the lights when we are not using them, turning off air conditioning, especially for sleeping. We can always open a window or use a fan. We can buy rechargeable electronics, rechargeable batteries, and we can use just a limited amount of electronics. We have to be mindful about this and only use electronics when it is necessary. I am an educator, and I always try to teach my students about the importance of sustainable development goals because the future belongs to them. They are the ones who will inherit this planet. They are the ones in whose hands lies the future. These are some of the works done by my students during different projects about sustainable development goals. They have learned what it means to live a sustainable way of life, what it means to do their best to make the world a better place. Through their actions, they are trying to bring an active contribution. We have had classroom presentations teaching other students about what sustainable development goals mean. Art made by using recyclable materials or materials which are usually thrown away. We had activities of making art and also a song written by our students to raise awareness about SDGs. We planted trees and we found charitable donations, charities to have actions of donating, because this also helps. Every action is a step forward. Everything that we do is not in vain. This is a poem written by my students about what it means, what each of the Sustainable Development Goals means, and how it is important for our world. And it means that we should all act as a global team to save this planet. And if I may share it, just a second.
The world needs our help today. The world needs our help today, so let's take action, don't delay. So many people live in poverty.
Go to bed hungry, can't live normally.
They need clean water, they need sanitation.
And children need quality education. People need to be healthy and it's fair to give them a good medical care. Let's innovate and work together.
To make our life conditions better.
If we all use clean energy, we'll make the world pollution free.
Learn to produce responsibly and not consume more than you need. Sustainable communities.
They live in harmony and peace.
To spread love and stop the hate, we should never discriminate. Against inequalities unite.
Give men and women equal rights.
The world is giving us a warning to fight against the global warming.
The goals have made us understand we must protect the life on land. The ecosystem have a role, all the Earth's creatures, big and small.
The birds, the elephants, the bees, the fish that swim below the seas.
So let's join hands to achieve the goals. Together we can save the world.
So let's join hands to achieve the goals. Together we can save the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you so much, Laura. Thank you again. Wow. Our next international speaker is Ambassador Estra from Malaysia.
Thank you. Welcome, dear honorables, guest speakers, and audience to our Sustainable Development Goal Summit SDG 7, Affordable and Clean Energy. By 2030, expand infrastructure and upgrade technology for supplying modern and sustainable energy services for all in developing countries, in particular least developed countries, small islands, developing states, and landlocked developing countries, in accordance with their respective programs and support. What is our mission actually? Is to use renewable energy solution, and since it's becoming cheaper, more reliable, and more efficient every day. Our current reliance on fossil fuels is unsustainable and harmful to the planet, which is why we have to change the way we produce and consume energy. What's the goal here? The goal here is to ensure the access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. Let's first understand what does affordable and clean energy means. Affordable means anything that is available for use and people can buy it without disturbing their budget. Clean energy means energy which does not pollute the atmosphere, creates little or no greenhouse gases when used. Why clean energy? Our everyday life depends upon reliable and affordable energy services to function smoothly and to develop equitably. A well-established energy system supports all sectors from business, medicine, and education to agriculture. Greenhouse gases, which causes climate change and have a harmful impact on people's well-being and environment. This affects everyone, not just a few. Moreover, global electricity use is rising rapidly. In a nutshell, without a stable electricity supply, countries will not be able to power their economies. Our world runs on energy we produce. Clean energy production allows us to generate the energy we need.
Somehow you got muted. Please unmute yourself.
Okay, I just unmuted it. Sorry, our world runs on energy. We produce clean energy production, allows us to generate the energy we need without the generation of greenhouse gases and negative environmental effects that comes with fossil fuels, in turn, which helps to reduce the climate change. Lack of energy. What is happening? 800 million people worldwide lack electricity. Negative impact on health, education, and economic opportunities. Women and children are the most affected ones. What effects? What are the effects of SDG? Goal number 1, it has effects on poverty and eradication. Goal 3 on health and well-being. Goal 4 on quality education. Goal 5 on gender equality. Goal 8 on decent work and economic growth. And finally, Goal 13 on climate action. These are the effects. Now let's see benefit and how to achieve it. Significant investment and efforts from governments, the private sector, civil society, and international organizations. Mobilization of financial resources, the transfer of technology, and the development of capacity and skill. Next, it will be also require the establishment of partnership and collaboration among different stakeholders to leverage their respective strengths and expertise. Some common sources of renewable energies are wind energy, geothermal energy, hydropower, ocean energy, bioenergy, and solar energy. One of the affordable and clean energy source is, of course, solar energy. More and more countries around the world are moving towards this. Solar energy is a clean and efficient energy source which uses the sunlight and heat to generate renewable green power. It has numerous benefits for both human and the environment. Points being cost saving, as it reduces the cost of the energy bills. Originality, as it is easy to install. Low maintenance, making them hassle-free source. Benefits of using clean energy. Electricity from clean energy source like wind and solar and cutting energy demands reduces the need of fossil fuels for power generation. That increases energy independence and low emission of harmful gases like nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide, and carbon dioxide. Some of other benefits are less global warming, improved public health, renewable energy, jobs and other economic benefits, stable energy prices, and reliability. How can we achieve affordable and clean energy, and who will do this? Solar power is the cheapest clean energy out of all the major options we have by a significant amount. That is, it beats coal and gas in major countries, but what about the third world countries? Next, United Nations governments, private sectors, and financial institutions push the action towards sustainable energy for all, therefore benefiting countries that are unable to afford the technology and knowledge. Conclusion: affordable and clean energy is a critical component of the Sustainable Development Goals. Its achievement is essential for the realization of sustainable and inclusive development. It provides a framework for expanding infrastructure and upgrading technology for supplying modern and sustainable energy services for all in developing countries, particularly least developed countries, small islands, developing states, and landlocked developing countries in accordance with the respective programs of support by 2030. In Malaysia, we are definitely working in this area as it is the cheapest, although we don't have major problem with electricity yet. Why not? If solar energy is so much cheaper, we should move into it. How many houses in Malaysia have these solar panels? According to Malaysia's Minister of Energy, Science, Technology, Environment and Climate Change, MESTECC, there are over 4.12 million buildings with solar rooftop potential in Peninsular Malaysia alone. So we are definitely moving forward in using solar energy further. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And that is an amazing fact that we need to know, because we want to spread this solar energy all over the world. And thank you again. Our next guest speaker is Ambassador Caleb Timlin Samuel.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for having me. This is Caleb Timlin Samuel from Nigeria. Dr. Tiana Jones, I would like to share my slides. Please, can you make me a host?
Yes, I can.
One minute, please. Finding a difficulty here to I'm coming, please.
Don't worry, we will wait for you. Thank you
Okay.
so much. Don't worry.
Thank you. Okay. I'm almost there. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so are we good to go? Is it?
Yes, you
Hello,
are.
can you?
Yes, you are a co-host.
Oh, okay. So I want to confirm if the slide is if you can see the slide.
We actually cannot.
Oh God.
You can try to share your screen, but if not, you can just follow through with a speech and you will still get a certificate of completion and an award for joining.
Okay, how about now?
No, I'm so sorry. It could be the
Okay,
connection from Nigeria because sometimes we do have these complications with using Zoom.
okay, okay, all right. This is Caleb Timileyin Samuel from Nigeria. I would like to share my thoughts on SDG Goal 7, which is affordable and clean energy. We all know the importance of clean energy to development, and we all know the health impact of fossil fuel development in Africa. And I would like to read some statistics here. In 2019, the International Energy Agency predicted that 350 million Africans will be without electricity access and 1 billion without clean cooking access in 2030, despite countries' pledges towards reachable sustainable development goal 7 of achievable universal energy access by 2030. According to Carbon Tracker, the African continent has 39% of the world's potential for renewable energy, yet Africa and the Middle East together receive only 2% of investment into renewable energy annually. I must say that advocating for equitable access and clean energy is advocating for the consequences of climate change. They are mostly interrelated. So as the case may be, here in Africa, there have been some measures put in place by the Nigerian government to meet the UN SDG goals 7. In its bid to achieve the UN SDG goal 7, which targets access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all by 2030, the federal government launched their Nigeria Integrated Energy Planning Tool in collaboration with Sustainable Energy for All. Support from the Global Energy Alliance for People and Planet, and funding from the Rockefeller Foundation in the America. According to the World Bank, about 1.1 billion people do not have access to electricity in 2012. In the same year, in 2012, about 2.9 billion people lacked access to non-solid fuel as a primary source of cooking. Convinced that one major factor responsible for poverty around the world is lack of access to affordable modern energy, the UN in 2015 listed access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all as one of the SDG, which is the SDG goal 7 that we are talking about. Now, to achieve the SDG target, the federal government has to put a number of measures in place. One of these is in Nigeria Integrated Energy Planning 2, launched 3rd of February 2022. It identifies the least cost mix of solutions to meet demands for a variety of energy services, while also modeling a variety of scenarios to deliver these solutions. While traditional energy plans focus primarily on electrification, the Nigerian Integrated Energy Planning Tool includes electrification, clean cooking, and productivity uses for the entire country. The Nigerian Integrated Energy Planning Tool promotes a holistic approach to achieving Sustainable Development Goal 7 and energy development, while also supporting local manufacturing, expanding local solar technology value chains, and potentially creating 250,000 new jobs in Nigeria energy sector. And quickly, let's look into the health impact of traditional solid fuel cooking, statistics by the World Health Organization. Around 2.4 billion people worldwide, around a third of the global population, cook using open fires or inefficient stove fueled by kerosene, biomass, wood, animal dung, and crop waste and coal, which generates harmful household air pollution. Household air pollution was responsible for an estimated 3.2 million deaths per year in 2020, including over 337,000 deaths of children under the age of 5. The combined effect of ambient air pollution and household air pollution are associated with 6.7 million premature deaths annually. Household air pollution exposure leads to non-communicable diseases, including stroke, heart diseases, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and lung cancer. Women and children typically responsible for household chores, such as cooking, collecting firewood, bear the greatest health burden from the use of polluting fuels, and technologies in home. I must say critically here that most countries in Africa still use solid fuel and combustible fuel to cook their food. And an attempt to address the SDG Goal 7 is also addressing the SDG Goal 1 of poverty, is also addressing and reducing the consequences of climate change, Goal 13, and as well, it is also addressing the SDG Goal 6 of water, sanitation, and hygiene. Unfortunately, on the African continent here, we still rely so much on combustible fuels to cook foods. You know, most of all these combustible fuels are carbon dioxide that are released into the Earth atmosphere. It is a system theory. All these things are released into the Earth atmosphere. Then all these things causes weather-related events that we talk about. We talk about drought, we talk about excessive rainfall, and we talk about global warming. So when it comes down from the Earth atmosphere, it in turns again creates social inequalities. So many people that have farmlands, that have source of livelihood, can no longer go to their farmland as a result of excessive rainfall, and this throws them back into abject poverty. So it's a system theory. So let us take a look at the benefit of renewable/clean energy. Economic benefit: it has a much stronger job creation potential than the fossil fuel sector, and hence can provide green income generation opportunity for local populations, including women. I would like us to take these statistics also from the United Nations. Per dollar invested, renewable energy generated between 2 to 5 times more jobs than fossil fuels. When taking into account other green investments such as public transit and energy efficient building, between 5 to 25 more jobs are created. And I can testify in the renewable energy sector here in Nigeria, it has created more jobs and more green jobs, and it has created more sustainable environment for us. So it has also increased the amount of clean air that we breathe in. These are environmental goods. When we talk about environmental goods, they are clean air that we enjoy, things that we actually do not buy. These are free gift of nature. So these are environmental goods that we enjoy that does not have negative impact on our body system. So I would like us to talk about the next benefit, which is the less global warming. Human activity is overloading our atmosphere with carbon dioxide and other global warming emissions. These gases act like a blanket, trapping heat. The result is a web of significant and harmful impact, from stronger, more frequent storms to drought, sea level rise, and extinction. So also, this thing also has an implication to the health sector. When there are too much diseases on the land, it overwhelms the health sector and it affects the productivity of the health sector too. So the pollution affects everyone. One statistics came out from Harvard University, and it estimated that coal affects about 74.6 billion every year. And also, we like to talk about the stable energy prices. Renewable energy is providing affordable electricity across the country right now and can help stabilize energy prices in the future. Although renewable facilities require upfront investment to build, they can then operate at a very low cost. For most clean energy technologies, the fuel is free. As a result, renewable energy prices can be very stable over time. So now, what is the way forward? How can we meet up with the Sustainable Development Goal 7 of Clean Energy 2030? Number one is to invest in renewable energy, ensuring universal access to affordable electricity by 2030 means investing in clean energy source such as solar, wind, and thermal energy. And we can also invest in knowledge and skills of the people. These are capacity programs, capacity building skills that can also educate people on ways we can have clean energy. This will also help them to come about sustainable approaches, sustainable plans that we can make to drift away from fossil fuel development in Africa. And also we can talk about the investment in improving electricity grid, like the National Action Plan of Nigeria that I just made mention about. It's invested so much on the improving the electricity grid that we also got some foundation, some funds from the Rockefeller Foundation there in America. This is to accelerate electrification in Nigeria. And so we must fully understand that to be able to attain and actualize this UNHCR Goal 7, fossil fuel development in Africa must be decommissioned. So all of these will enable us to craft out sustainable approaches to attain the UNSDG Goal 7. So I'd like to implore young leaders to keep doing more so that we can meet all these UNSDG goals, as a sustainable environment is a healthier environment for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, and you have been here every day giving good, innovative information of research and data. I really appreciate your time, and we hope to see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Our next guest speaker, we're going back to Professor Dr. Richa Ranjan. Richa?
Thank you, Tiana. I think today is Solar Day, and solar is in demand globally. We need energy to run almost all aspects of our lives, yet we do that traditional and harmful sources that are limited. We have abundant clean resources present at Generac. Dear fellow global citizens, today I'm here to speak about one of the most pressing issues, that is SDG 7, which aims to ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. As we speak, millions of people across the world still lack access to electricity and rely on traditional sources of energy like kerosene, wood for cooking and heating. Not only are these resources expensive, unreliable, but they are also harmful to our health and environment. And the lack of access to energy hampers economic development, education, and healthcare, poverty, and it perpetuates poverty and inequality. But we have the power to change this. Sustainable energy solutions are available and can be scaled up to provide reliable and affordable energy to all. For examples, we are having countries like Kenya have successfully implemented off-grid solar energy solutions that have provided access to electricity to millions of people. In Bangladesh, the Grameen Bank has provided microloans to women to purchase solar panels, transforming their lives and commitments. Lives and communities, I think. And moreover, the transition to renewable energy sources like wind and solar is only crucial for achieving SDG 7, but is also a crucial step towards mitigating the impacts of climate change. The cost of renewable energy technologies have also plummeted in recent years, making them a competitive alternative to traditional fossil fuels. But we must also acknowledge that the transition to sustainable energies require political will, investment, and innovation. Government must enact policies that encourage the adoption of renewable energies. And the investors must invest in sustainable energy infrastructure. And as individuals, we must also do our part by making conscious choices that reduce our energy consumption and carbon footprint. We must work together to ensure that no one is left behind in this transition to sustainable energy. We must support communities that are most vulnerable to the impacts of climate change, and we must empower women and marginalized groups to participate in the energy transition. Clean energy is a type of energy that is produced using renewable resources, and it has minimal impact on the environment. So here are some of the examples of uses of clean energy. Solar energy. Solar panels use energy from the sun to produce electricity, and it is widely used in homes and businesses. Wind energy. Wind turbines convert the power of wind into electricity. Next is hydro energy. Hydroelectric power is generated by converting the kinetic energy of water into electricity. Geothermal energy and bioenergy. Bioenergy is derived from organic materials such as wood, crops, and waste. It is also used to produce electricity, heat, or fuel for transportation. Tidal energy is generated by using the kinetic energy of the tides to produce electricity. So clean energy has several benefits. It is renewable, abundant, and has a low impact on the environment. It can help to reduce our dependence on fossil fuels, lower greenhouse gas emissions, and mitigate the effects of climate change. Moreover, clean energy can be a source of economic growth and job creation. By embracing clean energy, we can create a more sustainable and equitable future for all. In conclusion, I'll conclude SDG 7 is not just a goal for the future. It is goal for today. We must act now to be ensured that everyone has access to affordable, reliable, and modern energy. We must seize this opportunity to transform our energy system and create a more sustainable, equitable, and prosperous future for all. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And this is your third day joining us.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited. Please contact me after to become a Global Peace Brand Ambassador. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Diana. Thank you.
Our next guest speaker is from Croatia, Professor Dr. Nada Rakovic. Welcome.
Greetings from Croatia. Honored to be here. Great conference, the 7-day. Congratulations, dear Tiana. Wonderful job here. I see so many great eminent speakers, wonderful friends. Professor Kerudin, I send him to you today to join your conference. Yes. Great Ambassador Esther, our Caleb, and all who are here today. So today we are on the SDG 7, like an educator, what to say, it is really important for the education. What will we do without energy? And if we talk about energy, we think on the renewable energy. So how can we do that? We need nature. We need to do that from the nature. So we sometimes have the limit. I think that more houses need to have today the solar panels, not only because we want to save the energy. It is better. It is better for all sun accumulation of the sun even if we talk about this parts of the world where we have a temperature where it's very hot. When I was on the Cyprus, I see on the all houses have and all flats have that solar panels, and also for I say they have a bathroom on the roof. It was a little funny for me. So, but it is great, and it is a tourist place, and people are coming there to enjoy. What statistics today say that 1 in 5 people around the world still are linked to the modern electricity. We know that. We know that there's so many our colleagues from Nigeria, from Africa, from. I can also say sometimes that I have the problem with the network, and this is very important. If we don't have the energy, how can we do? And energy is contributing to the climate change. It is a percent. About 60% green gas emissions. So why education is here crucial? Because we are teaching our students to use the technologies, to use new technologies, to develop them. So we need new idea, new inventions if we want to make the waste of this energy. Encouraging each other. Here I joined when our great tester was talking. So many solutions. And if we teach them, I'm sure that they will have an idea. Even we need to start in the early childhood, then primary education. Here we at the secondary education, I can say here we already have big and they already are, I can say, formed like a person. They know so many concepts like ecological footprint. They learn ecological accounting. They use so many tools, different tools, how to make. So they are giving a result. We already see a result. But in early childhood, when we see art from our little child, we already know that's a child understand the importance of energy. So if we give our children more resources in pedagogy, more ideas in the classroom activities, I think that we will have soon new inventions, and especially here on this technology engineering in the vocational school, a lot of ideas. In Croatia, students are participating in the business idea, then the idea of the year, business challenge. Before a few days, I was a judge on one competition in Romania, and I really enjoy watching, listening, and studying the work, the inventions from the students. Also, there was a lot from, like example, in Ambassador Estera in Malaysia, there is a problem with, there are so many disasters, and they make very, very interesting innovations. So if we continue doing that, like educators, we will have better results. We need to inspire them. We need to inspire them from the young ages. So children can learn. They need to learn all about biodiversity. They need to know how to measure that environment footprint, and that is very important. That is very important to teach them. To give them inspiration through recycle, through reuse, through reduce. 3R is very important. So I will stop now, and because Nada can talk a lot, but we need to move forward.
Well, thank you, Nada. You know, you're such a joy here, and I'm so grateful that you invited our guest here today to listen.
Yes, our great Professor Karudini. Yes, and we need. Did he talk? Did he speak? Professor Karudini, please unmute yourself.
Hi everyone. Hi, Dr. Tiana Jones. I was really, I'm sometimes a bit naughty, and I think, a bit all the time outside the box. And when our friend just now, Caleb, mentioned about something about job creation, so it triggered my brain, and I just wrote in the chat group. I said, are we, what was it that I said? Are we thinking about saving the planet Earth? Are we more concerned about creating green jobs? So you see, sometimes we are not getting our what do you call perspective right. Well, it may be right and it can be wrong at the same time. But I guess we should be able to see everything at a much more bigger macro level picture. Right? Some people are very micro, you know, some very processual, but some people just see the big picture, but they forget about all the small things. So I guess, you know, this kind of discussions, you know, will help us to polish both those views. But again, coming back to SDG 7, yes, I think it's very important because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I've said this many times again. If you remember, G20 countries met in Bali in December 2022. And they came to 3 conclusions, or rather, they focused on 3 things. Number 1 was they were looking at the global health architecture, and number 2, which we are discussing today, which eminent and esteemed speakers have already shared with us, is about sustainable energy transition. So this SDG 7 is very much linked to that. And of course, the third one is digital transformation. So those are just the points that I like to share with all of you great speakers tonight. Dr. Tiana Jones, back to you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to say a few words.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. And
Professor Karudin, tomorrow you need to be prepared for SDG 8.
Oh, I know you. I know you're going to tell me that. Oh my God. Okay.
And then for 9,
I
10,
hope,
11 till 17.
you know, at my age, I hope I can wake up tomorrow morning, okay?
Professor Nada, Professor Nada, did you notice both Malaysians are sitting next to next?
Yeah, we're both Malaysian. I feel on top of the world today because side by side is 2 Malaysians.
Yes,
we feel on top of the world today.
And both great personalities.
thank you so much. I really appreciate you all for being here. So now we have a United States guest speaker. His name is Curtis Bailey. He's an advocate and an independent personality that brings innovations for solar energy, an ambassador for peace, and somebody that is very, very kind and cares about the economy.
Well, thank you all for letting me come to this global sustainability forum. And I've learned so many great things from the speakers that have preceded me. My name is Curtis Bailey. I'm located in Denver, Colorado. I'm more on the function side of solar and batteries. In the US, we cover 23 states plus the island nation of Puerto Rico, which needs energy as well. And really, my job is the deployment of the technology that already exists. The function that I've been working through is to build bridges, mental bridges, from an old belief to a new belief for homes and businesses that are thinking about making the transition to renewable energy and storage. And here in the US, we have major problems with our carbon footprint. Homes make up 20% of the carbons released, the greenhouse gases released into the atmosphere. The average home in the US per year releases 14,000 pounds or 6,360 kilograms of carbon gases. Not good. That makes up 20% of our emissions. The other big emissions that we're working to reduce and eventually eliminate are vehicle driving emissions. They make up 15%. So just by deploying the technology that already exists onto homes and businesses, giving homeowners the bridge, the option to have battery storage and electric vehicle chargers, we're able to convert empty roof space that it's not being used for anything right now. we're able to convert that empty roof space on businesses and homes into reducing, 14,000 pounds of carbon emissions per year per building on average. And we're also able to add enough solar panels on top of that roof to fuel an electric car, depending on how many miles that home needs to drive, 10, 20, 30,000 miles a year. We can substitute fossil fuels for heating and cooling homes and electrifying homes. And now we're able to reduce and eliminate petrol fuels, gasoline. So combined per household, each house, we can reduce, 35% of the carbon emissions, the greenhouse gases. So my job is very, very simple. I used to be a public school teacher. I educated children. My job is to source, find, educate solar energy consultants, renewable energy consultants, take them from an existing field over to the solar or renewable energy field and succeed. With a lot of training, a lot of resources, a lot of questions, a lot of support. So far, I've been able to accumulate a team of about 300 dedicated consultants. We also have deployment crews. That's the construction crews that install these pieces of equipment that already exist. And it's just a fun, time-consuming, life-altering adventure. It's a little bit early in the morning here. I jumped on this call at 7:30 a.m. I know the different time zones around the world have different times, but it is a pleasure to be here. So one of the things that we do, and I just need about one more minute. I have some bullet points written down here. So what we do is build bridges from old beliefs to new beliefs. That's the number one thing we do. And the way we do that is just with movements like this, a bigger picture, something global. Then we can pull it down to a national level, and then a very, very focused, this is what it can do for you individually. Currently, right, the state of renewable energy in the US, we have 255,000 employees in our industry, okay? Sounds like a big number, but when you look at the adoption rate or the deployment rate of the existing technology that we have, out of 87 million homes in the US that are qualified for solar panels, 4% of those homes have solar, okay? Only 4% of the homes have solar. Our goal as a united team is to bring that up to 30% adoption rate in the next 2 years. That is a 26% increase. Currently, if you look at the number of employees we have, we're blessed to multiply that number by 7. So we need, for every one honest, educated consultant that helps build those bridges, and for every one young man or woman that is out there doing this job, whether it's consulting or marketing or deploying, actually physically constructing these projects, for every one of those people, we are multiplying by 7. That is our goal, to get that number from 1 to 7. Then we get the reason why that's our goal is because when we hit that goal, then we can hit a mass adoption rate, like a hockey stick, the curve of adoption. And we'll do it in between now and 2025. We are getting it more and more, but it really comes down to speaking the right languages to people, meeting them where they are right now, understanding their beliefs, and then building a bridge over to the new belief of modern, clean, sustainable energy. That's step 1. When we do that, then we get equitable pay. We lift people out of poverty. We help the homeowner lift others out of poverty. The other, that's the main function right now. I agree with all 17 of the goals and the paradigms that this group has brought forth. Ours is one step at a time. We are not on the think tank level. We are on the do level. And if it wasn't for the thinkers and the great ideas that this group and other groups like this bring about, we wouldn't have anywhere to function. So I thank everybody for letting me speak very briefly on this. I could go on for hours. One of the most beautiful things about renewable energy, and this is what I present to anybody I speak with, it's a win, 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 win. There are 4 major wins with cheap, modern, affordable, distributed energy. The person that's receiving that energy, that's where it starts. That's one. The community around that person, because that person is now elevated and can bring more goodness, more education to the community. Then at a more state or localized level, and then at a global level. So every solar panel that we install, we've offset our carbon footprint on production of that solar panel, transportation of that solar panel, and employment of that panel, installation of it. We've offset that as a company. We've offset all of that carbon footprint to get that panel on the roof. And now that panel can operate and reduce the home and vehicle carbon for the next 30 years. So we don't know the ripple that we're making. We don't know how far it reaches. All we do is keep dropping pebbles in that pond to make more ripples. So I thank you for, this was a pleasure to listen to all of you, and thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you so much. And I'm excited to see what we do together in the future. Thank you for joining today. I wanted to bring you on the scale of our global community and the innovations with global peace and the All Lives Do Exist and Women's Lives Do Exist global peace movements. And I believe that the people will be able to save humanity, but it takes all of us to unite and to get this data and this analysis recorded, get it up on YouTube, get the people involved, and then expand to other countries, because that's the goal here, to expand and unite with other countries. So thank you again for joining, and we're going to go on to our next guest international speaker. Our next guest international speaker is Katia Biblari from Georgia. And sometimes we do get frozen here because we have all continents here, so we do get frozen. If she is frozen, she will come back. So usually we pause and we wait and we give someone a chance. And that's about being humane, because we are all here to be helping each other learn. You're back.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, we
Oh,
can.
well, everybody, hello, I'm from Georgia, and I have to say that I'm very grateful to be here, to be given this great opportunity, because I got nervous because I saw there are a lot of professional people and I'm inexperienced. I don't have vast experience in this field, but I'm very happy to be able to collect data every day, and thank you for giving this great opportunity, Tiana. So today I will express my personal opinion about this topic. Briefly, of course, Sustainable Development Goal 7 is focused on ensuring access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. This goal is very crucial, is crucial for achieving sustainable development, as access to energy is essential for economic growth, social development, and environmental sustainability. In Georgia, the government has taken several steps to address this goal, but there are still challenges that need to be overcome. One of the key initiatives in Georgia is the National Renewable Energy Action Plan, which aims to increase the share of renewable energy in the country's energy mix to 20% by 2020. This plan includes measures such as feed-in tariffs, tax incentives, and grants to promote the development of renewable energy projects. The government has also established the Renewable Energy Fund, which provides financial support for renewable energy projects. Another important policy initiative in Georgia is the Energy Efficiency Law, which aims to improve energy efficiency in buildings, industry, and transport. The law includes provisions for energy audits, energy performance standards, and energy labeling of buildings and appliances. The government has also implemented programs to promote energy efficient lighting and heating, and to encourage the use of electric vehicles. I can say that Georgia is also actively involved in regional energy cooperation initiatives such as the Energy Community Treaty, which aims to create a unified energy market in the region, and the EU's Energy Union Initiative. These initiatives provide a framework for regional cooperation on energy policy and supports the development of energy infrastructure and interconnections between countries. Despite this effort, there are still challenges in achieving SDG 7 in Georgia. One of the main challenges in the country's heavy dependence on imported fossil fuels for its energy needs. In 2020, fossil fuels accounted for over 80% of Georgia's total primary energy supply, with natural gas being the largest source of energy. This reliance on imported fuels makes Georgia vulnerable to price fluctuations and supply disruptions. Another challenge is limited access to energy in rural areas. While access to electricity in urban areas is nearly universal, many rural households still lack access to modern energy services. This is due to factors such as the high cost of connecting rural areas to the grid, as well as the low income levels of rural households. Finally, there is a need to improve the efficiency and reliability of the country's energy infrastructure. The existing infrastructure is often outdated and inefficient, leading to high energy losses and reliability issues. The government has recognized this issue and is working to modernize and upgrade the country's energy infrastructure. That's all from me, and I think that if we work together, we will be able to solve lots of problems. And thank you again for your attention.
Thank you for your passion, and every day that you join, you always follow your heart, and that's what it matters about, is combining your thoughts and your emotions and controlling them to use your heart to give a message. Thank you so much. Thank you. Our next international speaker, you're welcome. Our next international speaker is from the United States, Danelle Boyles. Welcome.
Good morning, Tiana, and everyone joining us. Thank you so much. It's always a privilege to join you on all of these very educational topics that we're trying to spread so much awareness of. I would just like to say thank you to Curtis, who spoke a while ago. It's Curtis, correct? Everything that he covered pretty much ties into everything that I have to talk about. Being a global issue, you know, we all know that it's very much a global issue, especially in third world countries that don't even have access to the form of electricity. So when it comes to us speaking about the matters in the United States, where it's just a matter of a financial or accessibility issue to lessen our burdens, it almost makes me feel a little selfish, because there are so many people that do not have even what we have here. But this is the topic that hits hard in my area of residence. How do we have access to clean, sustainable energy at a lower cost? We can educate ourselves, we can educate others, we can speak on it and on the matter so much, but figuring out how to close the gap of the cost to actually install this sustainable renewable energy is the key. It's not financially accessible to most people. And this is a big problem because in many Midwestern states, including my own, in my personal residential vicinity, we struggle not only from the pollution from coal production of energy, but also it's incredibly expensive to heat our homes, to utilize electricity, because they're monopolized by personal ownership. And so this becomes a greed factor, and it then drives it up. So because it is a private monopolized business, that becomes a big problem. We must have electricity to have access to all of our traditional modern day comforts and needs, as everyone does. But when it comes to the fact that in the next state over, or a couple states over, the cost of electricity is far less, is where a big problem comes in, because it is monopolized. I feel like in modern day society, our government is not necessarily doing its part in moving into making resources that are provided opportunities for becoming more income stabilizing. Sustainable energy supply like hydro, solar, and wind, it should be available to most persons. And with this point, how do we move into a place that it is not a monopolized responsibility? It's taken from private ownership and of electric companies, and they control the situation with it with greedy high cost. It increases problems all across the board, not only for more pollution, but less accessibility. How do we close that gap? How do we make the sustainable energy more accessible to common people? It'll not only alleviate the global need for as much financial assistance, because when you have incredibly high electricity cost and it increases the poverty line, you're pushing more into the need of figuring out financially how this is going to come full circle, because the money that is going in to financially assist people who are struggling to leave the poverty line, if they had a renewable resource like a solar, wind, some sort of renewable energy supply that is less costly to produce, then it closes that financial gap out also. So all across the board, finding ways to supply clean, sustainable energy at a lower cost, being able to supply homes with solar energy that for their own personal use, it's going to help alleviate so many different problems, and it trickles down. But it's finding the way to close that gap of making it accessible to everyone. How do we make that possible globally? Sustainable clean energy should be available to everyone at low cost. So that's my biggest point of view. I don't have the answer for it, but that's why we're all here talking about it, is trying to bring more awareness to it. How do we close that gap to making sustainable energy more available to everyone? Because it will reduce financial stress, pollution, poverty, all across the board.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us, and we are grateful to hear you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next international speaker is May Japashvili Gavangashvili. Hi, thank you.
Hello everybody. I am Maya, a teacher tutor from Georgia. It's great honor for me to be here with you. Today I want to speak about the 7th goal of sustainable development. Goal 7 is affordable and clean energy. This goal aims to ensure access to reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. It recognizes that energy is essential for development and that access to affordable and clean energy is critical for eradicating poverty, promoting economic growth, and achieving sustainable development. Achieving SDG 7 will require significant investments in renewable energy, energy efficiency and clean energy technology, as well as policy and regulatory frameworks that support sustainable energy development. It will also require collaboration between governments, the private sector, civil society, and other stakeholders to promote the transition to affordable and clean energy. As I've already told you, I'm from Georgia, and now I will talk about the examples of my country. Georgia has made significant progress towards improving its energy mix with a focus on developing renewable energy sources such as hydro, wind, and solar power. However, there are still some challenges and opportunities to fully realize the potential to clean energy in Georgia. One of the main challenges for Georgia is its heavy reliance on imported fossil fuels, particularly natural gas, for electricity generation and heating. This makes the country vulnerable to price fluctuations, to supply disruptions, which can have significant economic and social impacts. Another challenge is the need to modernize and upgrade the country's energy infrastructure to support the integration of renewable energy sources into the grid. This includes developing energy storage systems and improving the transmission and distribution networks to ensure a reliable and stable energy supply. In addition, regulatory challenges need to be addressed to support the development of clean energy in Georgia. This includes improving the legal and regulatory framework for renewable energy, ensuring transparent and fair pricing mechanisms, and promoting private sector investment in clean energy projects. Despite these challenges, there are also significant opportunities for Georgia to further develop its clean energy sector. With its abundant renewable energy resources such as hydropower and wind, the country has a potential to become a regional leader in clean energy production. The development of clean energy can create new jobs, reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and support sustainable economic growth in the country. The problems of affordable and clean energy can be solved through a combination of policies, investments, and technological innovations. Governments can encourage energy efficiency by setting minimum efficiency standards for appliances and buildings, and educating consumers about the benefits of energy conservation. Governments and organizations can work together to ensure that people in remote areas have access to modern energy services such as electricity, clean cooking fuels, and heating. Overall, raising awareness about the importance of sustainable energy and the need to achieve SDG 7 can help encourage individuals, businesses, and governments to take action. This can be done through public campaigns, education programs, and community initiatives. Thank you for your attention to all the speakers and listeners. I would like to thank Tiana Jones for her tireless work in raising awareness among people. Thank you once again.
Thank you. Thank you for joining every day and listening in. And today was your first day speaking. And I was so grateful to see you. Okay, so now we will follow up and just have a moment of a breather. Take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. We just heard so many amazing speakers. All of you have put your heart on your sleeve, put your efforts into global peace. And again, we are here trying to find all SDG solutions, and sustainable energy is so important because people need it all over the world, because that's what we're using to survive. We're using that to feed our families, to heat our homes, to do so many things. So I want to tell you this, my idea is very huge. I believe that this idea will be so great that it can reach all countries, all of your countries. If we work together with affiliated partners, stakeholders, and also people that are already in these industries, such as Curtis and other partnerships that I have accumulated, we can get this solar energy process going in other countries that, such as Malaysia, that have low cost, and invest in different companies that can continue to distribute in your countries. I believe that there are stakeholders, not just in the United States, but all other countries that are ready to put an effort to change society's thought process on the way we need to adjust how people live. Because again, a lot of people are unaware, and some are aware and they're not taking full action. They may be comfortable in their environment and comfortable in their mindset, but now is the time to take global action. We need to find a solution with each other by continuously having these global peace summits, spreading this information, collecting as much data and analysis as we can. This will also help show stakeholders and company owners why they should partner with us and why they should continue to give value in their mission, in their purpose. Again, this is another innovative idea. Is Professor Dr. Nada Rakovic mentioned that the students, the youth, they are the next generation up. They are the ones that are creating new innovative inventions. And this is why it's so important to feed the youth knowledge of positive energy, positive encouragement. There's a lot of professors on here. There's a lot of people on here that are very intact and detailed with their strategic ways of teaching the youth. Continue to spread that energy. Energy also has to do with moving the energy of all of the giftings and the people that are awakened, that are coming together and saying, I want to save this planet. I want to do something that all people can remember, because it can be implemented down in generations to come, so that we can end this problem and other problems in all SDGs. I believe that right now is that time to take action. And I have been able to connect with people such as Curtis Bailey and others that are in this solar industry to learn from scratch and be educated on it and be a partnership for them, because I do have a major project that I'm going in on with the United States in Florida, which is an area that the sun is always shining. So I believe that this can be a start of a foundation that spreads all over the United States. My goal here is to make a stronger status of a footprint so that our government cannot stop solar energy. They cannot have people that have a different agenda make this not affordable to all homeowners. I believe that this new idea and innovative development of a policy can be put and set in place. And being someone that is investing, I will invest my time and invest my decision making to be strictly for the people, because I believe that the bottom line is, why are you doing what you're doing? And if you hold yourself strongly and you have passion in your heart, anything you put your mind to can be achieved. But you do have to focus and you do have to put in those efforts, whether it's using these public speaking engagements, whether it's, educating yourself and doing the research on the past, the present, and the future analysis of where we're going with green energy and energy. I believe that this is the time to get as many people together as possible that can come up with their own idea and their own solution. And my main project right now is to offer affordable solar energy panels for residential homes that will start in the United States in Florida and implement and end up all over the United States and also globally with the partnerships that I have here today. I believe that with this passion and with this drive, it can make us all feel that we have hope, that we can come together, that we can give each other encouragement. And I do believe that my main mission here is to help the people, but also help the people understand that they have the light mass of energy in them. Because last year when we were speaking on this same topic, I mentioned more with energy, how the energy needs to be moved with the emotional control of your emotions and your thoughts, but also to have a faith-based perception of belief so that you have something to run that fuel inside of you, to give you that hope, to give you that encouragement that we can save the world. We can save humanity right now. And it's going to take all of you to all hands on deck to put in their thoughts and emotions and control them to be leaders. It's not going to be able to be easy. Nothing in life is easy. You have to work really, really hard for the things you want in life. Even if no one believes, you keep believing in yourself and encouraging yourself that you can take it step by step, day by day. And eventually, with the repetitive thoughts of positive energy, light mass inside of you, you can change the world. You can change your communities. You can change your homes, your environments. You can change your schools. You can help educate the youth, but encourage them. Believe in them like they believe in you to be the leaders of us. That's what we need. That's what we need right now. People to actually care about humanity. And once we have that, and we do have that out there, but you unite the people, you assemble the people. God said, assemble the people. So once you do that in all different occupations, as well as this one is, that we're focused on right now, energy, solar energy, we can spread this distribution. And there are so many ways to do it, but we have to be strategic and we have to follow through with an action plan. And I believe now it's happening right here. We are all part of history. Thank you so much. Thank all of you for being here. And again, your data, your analysis, your research, your voices, your communities, and your action plan changes everything for energy and our world for tomorrow. Thank you so much, and God bless. Stay tuned because we will have SDG 8 tomorrow, and I want to see you all there. Take care.